Your marketing isn't working. Let's just talk about it. So,
what did you buy in the first place?
what did you buy?
Yeah, be the first question I would ask. My marketing isn't working. Well, what did you buy? What type of marketing?
What type of market? Yeah.
And what are you aiming to do? Like, is it the right tool for the right job? Did you buy a branding style ad that doesn't have a call to action onto it, and you had the assumption that you were just going to generate a bunch of leads? Did you put it on the wrong platform? Did you anticipate you were supposed to do lead gen, but you didn't have a form fill, and you were just trying to direct traffic to your website, and there was a bottleneck on your website, and it actually wasn't really, you're getting enough clicks, but they weren't converting over because they were landing on your homepage and they needed to be landing on your form fill page on the About Us section. Like it really depends on what type of marketing and what tool for what job and what purpose did you use those tools for in your growth.
Why don't we do this? I think this would be fun. I think all those points are really important. We were talking to Brianne right before this started, who's right over there. She's the one that handles all this for us, and then the beauty Oleg, who was crawling under the table a moment ago. And I broke my concentration. And we had a funny video. But we were talking about the biggest problem that Sean and I face when it comes to our clients is explaining a complex topic, branding, marketing, simply. Very simply. So this is what I'm going to do. For anybody who doesn't use ChatGPT or AI, whatever, Gemini, there's like another one made like Cloud or Clark or whatever. Look up AI and start using it. So this is what I'm going to do here. Chat, give me a very simple definition of what branding advertising is and what its results and expectations should be. While it does that, which will take 10 seconds, we're talking about psychology of humans, behavior, right? Behavior changes, so marketing changes, but it really should come down to a few simple things. So I'm just going to read this and we'll see where we get. So what is branding advertising? Branding advertising is long-term marketing. Focus on making people recognize, remember, and trust your business. That's what we talk about all the time. It's not trying to sell something today. It's planting seeds so people choose you tomorrow. What are its results? Familiarity. Your name, look, and message become recognized. Credibility. You become known as a trusted expert or leader. Preference. When the customer is ready to buy, they think of you first. This is what branding is for. What should you expect? No instant leads. Branding is a slow burn, not a quick hit. Compounding results. The more consistent you are, the more powerful it gets over time, like the stock market, like love in many cases, like health, like going to the gym. These are the metaphors we give. Lower cost per acquisition, CPA. If you don't know what that means, just check it out. Ask ChatGPT, look up the definition. You have the answers at your fingertips. So if you want to fact check us, please do. That's why I'm sharing this objective source of information, not us. Chat has no reason to steer us in one direction or the other. All we ask is to be objective and non-biased. Give me factual information. So the last part, lower cost per acquisition, later on, because people already trust you. Therefore, they're easier to buy from you. Therefore, they'll give you more of their dollars because who do you want to spend money on? People you trust or don't trust. It's really that simple. And then higher conversion rates down the road. Branding makes your lead gen 2 to 15x more effective. That is ChatGPT's simple approach to what branding advertising is, what are the results, and what should you expect. So now that you know that, would this help your business? That's the foundation of your business. It doesn't stop. Sean and I try to figure out how to brand more each year, how to take it from a $8,000 monthly investment on branding to a 10, then to a 12, now to a 15. That's where it's at now. And then lead gen, no need to ask ChatGPT, what's that for? It's very simple. You put an offer online, you put it to your desired audience. People are in the market to buy your stuff right now, which on average is 1 to 3% of the market. So if you look at the totality of the HVAC market in Simcoe County, somewhere between 1 to 3% of that market is looking to buy HVAC today. You put a Facebook ad out, an Instagram ad out, a YouTube ad out. You put it in a magazine, not ideal for lead generation, but it can still work. You have a number of different platforms. You geo-target, so you put, this is the area I want my ads to go. Let's use Simcoe County, 20-kilometer radius, and then you start pumping out your lead gen ads saying, if your HVAC isn't working, or if you're tired of not getting enough heat in your top floor, or if your life would be better from more consistent cooling, if you're sweating in the night, you point out the person's problem, you let them know that you can solve it with a promo, a discount, a one-time urgency, scarcity, whatever, to get them to click on it now, because you have an answer to their problem now. They click, they go to your website, or they go to a form fill, whatever it is, and then they have the option to buy or to book onto your calendar. That's your lead generation right there. But let me just ask you, Sean, and the audience to think about, if you needed HVAC today and you had 2 types of lead generation ads coming at you on Facebook. I know that you use Facebook a little bit more than Instagram. I see you on there more often. 2 lead generation ads on Facebook, both the exact same, let's say. Just make it easy. One is a company you don't know. One is a company you've seen for years. They have the same offer. The one that you've known for years is more expensive by 20%, let's say, than the one you don't know. Which one would you honestly choose?
So I'll answer that I'm going to come back to that. Let's pretend I didn't know both of them. And if I didn't know both of them, I would be shopping on price, because I don't know both of them and I don't trust both of them, because you don't trust what you don't know. So I would be shopping on price. And then I'm at risk for a bad experience, the job's not being done, completed. And I think most people out there have bought something from somebody that they didn't know or trust because they were shopping on price, had a bad experience, and then ended up having to spend more money to either get something fixed or go out and buy a higher quality product.
And the only way you could build trust is you'd have to rely on reviews, which, again, just go to ChatGPT and look at the psychology of reviews. The pros, the cons, the do's, the don'ts, the goods, the bads. They are not, it's not like talking to somebody that you know, that you trust, that has an experience with this company. Reviews are good. Not having them is not good. Having them is good, but they aren't the end all be all.
Yeah, so to get back to your question, 100% for the majority of people, including myself, I would rather pay more for working with a company that I know is going to do a good job, that is going to treat me well, and that is going to give me a great experience, whether that's through their product or through their service. Hands down, I'm picking the company, the business that I know.
Now, you did say the business that I know because they're going to give me a good experience, this and blah, 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 blah. I know Rogers, they brand very successfully. They don't give me a good experience, and I'm leaving them after 20 years of being there. And I'll say the majority of those 20 years of being there is just such a hassle to cancel. There's always a contract or a fee or a penalty or whatever, which they do intentionally. They make it hard for me to leave, and they've gotten, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars from me because of that, but I've finally had enough. So it's not just enough to be known. You have to be good at what you do. You have to live up to what you say. You have to deliver on your promises. Try to undersell and over-deliver rather than the opposite, which is what I would say Rogers does. They painted the dream for me, and I thought I was buying it, and then the first moment I had a problem, I get passed on to 14 different people that I struggle to speak to, and they don't know me. I'm just a number, so I'm leaving there. So it's not just enough to be known through your branding. You got to show up for your brand. But if you're not known,
it's like
not even an option.
It's like having a party, right? You have a party on your street.
The party analogy.
I love the party analogy.
Hit me with it.
It's the best. So you have a party, that's your business. And then marketing's job is to not get you sales. Marketing's job is to tell people that you're having this party. And then once people see it enough and know about your party, and that fits their vibe, and by the way, this is all going out to the ideal people you want to have at your party, and they show up, if the business doesn't answer the door, then that person's going to go to the next party down the street because they're ready to party. So they're going to go down to the next party on the street. If the door is answered and they're not greeted warmly, then they're not going to have a whole good experience at saying, I thought this was a good party. Doesn't really seem like this is a good party. I'm going to go to the party down the road. Check that out instead. Then if they come in and they have a good experience and then they leave that party, then marketing's job is to continuously remind them that that party is still going on. So the next time that they're ready to party, they're gonna come back to that and not try the other party. Now in your case, the Rogers, that person came in, you didn't have a good experience at that party. So the next time that you're ready to go and party, which is every day considering you're using your cell phone in this analogy, you're gonna decide to go and move to somebody else.
Yeah, I felt like I've been in purgatory for 2 decades, the majority of my flipping life. But I want to be clear about one thing to everybody that's listening to this. And listen, we aren't. People call themselves experts all the time. That word tickles me in the wrong way. I've been marketing for nearly a decade. I do not consider myself an expert. You want to see experts? Go listen to Gary Vee. Go listen to Alex Hormozi. They both have at least a 9-figure business or multi 9-figure businesses. They're at a stage that we're not, but we're talking to business owners who aren't at that stage. If you're learning everything from a business that's doing $100 million in revenue a year, what they're teaching you may not be for you. It may be for the evolution of you, right? If I want to learn how to be 100,000-aire first, because we haven't been there yet, let's say, I should be learning from people who are making 100 grand, 150 grand, 200 grand, 4, 5, 600 grand. Maybe not from a billionaire, because their priorities, their lifestyle is so out of our realm that we start like morning routines, for example. You listen to some billionaires and their morning routines are like 3.5 hours long. If you and I spent 3.5 hours first thing in the morning, we'd either have to get up at 3 to get to work by 6:37, or we wouldn't have the business we have. I mean, I heard this from one of my favorite bodybuilding coaches. He's a doctor and he's a professor, Dr. Mike Israetel, for the people that, do fitness as well, will recognize the name. But he says, best morning routine is to quickly get to working out as soon as possible or to quickly get to working as soon as possible. Those are the 2 main things that are pushing your life forward. So the point is that those billionaires have different lifestyle. We are talking to the business owners that are 8 figures and less. And the best way, the very best way to build up your brand most significantly is to deliver on your promises. Advertising won't get you there on its own. Again, it is a tool for a job. Just like a hammer alone can't build an entire deck. But without that hammer, you're going to really struggle to build that deck. You also need wood. You also need to cut the wood. You also need levels and measuring tools and probably some help from somebody else to lift the stuff. But without the hammer, you're going to be using your foot to hammer in those nails, or your fist, or whatever, a stone. It's not going to be good. Advertising is to get you known, liked, and eventually trusted. Speak on your expertise. Let your ideal audience know that you're an option. Know that you have a solution to their problem. And then you, once you get the opportunity, branding and advertising are to give you the opportunity. Now that you have the opportunity, deliver on it and they'll never forget you. Then you have the advertising reinforce it the moment they walk away. So it's this beautiful, positive, kind of reciprocating cycle, this environment that you provide once people step into your bubble. They don't know you. You send stuff to them to get them to know you. They start walking a little bit closer to your bubble. Once they get inside your bubble, that bubble is within your control. It's your business, brick and mortar, or it's your website, which is your business online. Social media, all of these things, they start experiencing you. This is your opportunity to give them an experience they won't forget. That's the thing that will build your brand up most successfully long term. If you just rely on advertising and you don't answer the phone, or you overhype and underdeliver, your customer service isn't good, your deliverables aren't good, your warranty is subpar, advertising will still continue to get you sales, but you are running a very inefficient operation.
So we've heard multiple businesses say this to us before when they didn't have a good experience marketing, or the marketing didn't work. And it's like I was saying before, well, what kind of marketing did you pick? But
what tool for what job?
But also, my next question is, how long did you do it for?
It's huge.
It's like, I did it for 3 months. I've did it for 4 months. I tried it for 6. We haven't really heard very much other answers than longer than 6.
And no one said to us, I did it straight for 3 years.
No, never
And then the
have
stock
come
market,
across that.
ask the same question to the same type of person. I didn't have a great experience in the stock market. Well, what did you do? There's usually two options. I picked my own stocks. Okay, you are a risk taker. Did you know anything about picking stocks? Not really. I watched a YouTube video. Okay, how long did you try it for? 6 months. I lost my shirt. Okay. Then you ask the other person, how long were they in the stock market? And he's like, what do you mean? This is a forever thing. I'm in an index fund. I don't even look at it. I just go into TSX or S&P 500, your States, Canadian, whatever it is. And the job is to leave it in there and to reinvest into it, whether that's through dividends or you're putting more money out of your own pocket, whatever, monthly, a percentage based on your income. I don't know this because I'm not a millionaire yet, but endless sources of the easiest way to hit that millionaire mark, if not through your business, is through leaving your money in the stock market and letting it go for 3 decades and letting it compound. Like, if you want to learn about the incredible results you get from compounding, listen to Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger talk about the results of compounding. What happens when 1 penny turns into 2, 2 turns into 4, 4 turns into 16, 16 turns into the next. For the first while, a year, you'll be like, whatever, I put in $1, I now have $30. By the end of year 2, you have 200. By the end of year 10, you have 4 million or whatever it is. Compounding is incredible. Last thing I want to touch on before we go, and I like this, we're going to use chat again. Chat, for the average small business doing under 8 figures, so anywhere from 0 to $9 million a year in revenue. We were talking about branding. How long should they expect to brand for to start seeing results? Question number 1. And should we ever stop branding if the goal is to continue to grow? Really short form, simple answer for us. Let's see what we get. And please, again, we've said this a number of times, fact check us, go on ChatGPT, ask for yourself, because the amount of people that have said no to us, maybe it was us, but if it wasn't us, then should have said yes, simply because they were scared of long-term duration, they didn't know the value of branding, means they're now being left behind. And how many times has it happened with you and I when we meet somebody in whatever, beginning of 2024, end of 2023, something like that. We analyze their business. They clearly have a problem that we can solve. They say no for whatever reason at that time. 6, 10, 12, 14 months later, we go back to them and they're in the exact same position.
I know 2 businesses that I came across early in 2023 that are no longer around when we had the
They're not even around.
No, not around anymore.
Right. And we go back to businesses. How you doing? Last time we spoke, you're at 350K in revenue 18 months ago. Where are you at now? We're at 360. Like, this happens all the time. It's very rare where they're like, we're at 350, all word of mouth, and now we're at 1.6, our goal in 3 years.
Can I touch on word of mouth before you?
It's right here. We're talking about the duration. So, and then hit word of mouth.
Yeah, I was going to talk about compounding and word of mouth.
Okay, let me hit this. So, how long to see results from branding? ChatGPT, again, objective, has no agenda. This is what I like about AI. 6 to 18 months with consistent effort. You'll see early signs around 3 to 6 months, increased recognition and engagement, not a sale she's talking about, but real momentum builds around the 12-month mark. Momentum builds around 1 year. Should you ever stop branding? Hell no. I wish you could zoom in and see this. Can we zoom in and see this? Should you ever stop branding? Hell no. What does it say? If you want to keep growing, branding never stops. The second you stop showing up is the second people start forgetting you. I think that's a wrap for the day. I don't think we need to say anything else. Go ahead.
We have
Thank you, Oleg.
come across a lot of business owners that, we're doing consultation with them, like, hey, what's your strategy now? And most of them all say, I'm doing word of mouth or very little. And then you'll come across some who are just so proud of the word of mouth.
Yeah, and I get it. It means you did something great.
And I want to share something exciting because we're talking about compounding, right? That branding compounds over time. If you love word of mouth so much, take a look into what branding can do for your business and what it can do for the compounding effect, because you get to a point where now more and more people are starting to know you and then eventually like you, and then they're going to start to trust you. What happens when somebody trusts somebody and then somebody's looking for their product or service? They're going to sing your praises way more than without, because now you have that, and then you get that client, and just like how you were doing it without marketing, then they have a good experience, but they're also seeing you, and you just, over time, it just keeps compounding more and more and more, and it does wonders for word of mouth. So if you're a big fan of word of mouth, do some branding maybe.
Well, let's use a real example. You guys hear me talk endlessly about Alex Hormozi, right? One of my big mentors for sure. The reason why I like him so much is he's been successful on an extreme level, but he mainly talks to small business owners. He's not, I mean, at least I don't see him targeting. I watch a lot of his YouTube videos. I've read all of his books and taken most of his courses. We talked about this last time. The only one we haven't taken is, I think it's 5 or 10 grand to go down to Vegas, which is certainly on the list of priorities, spend 4 or 5 days with them. That's the only thing he's put out there that we haven't learned from. Of course, some YouTube videos he posts every day, but all of his paid stuff, consumed, studied, and analyzed and used, taken action on. I like him so much because he's been successful on an extreme level, and he's speaking to us. The businesses that he actually analyzes on his YouTube channel, which I love, for school.com, you know, and school.com, or is a co-owner of it, and it's about getting small businesses to the next stage. He talks about businesses that are doing about $1 to $2 million in annual revenue are the businesses that he wants to talk to invest in, or buy his services to help them get to the next level. So he is one of those very successful guys that's actually talking to us, that's actually giving actionable steps for us. Gary Vee also talks to small businesses, but his clients are major companies. They're not going to, like, Super Bowl ads is what he does, those types of things. So I like Alex Hormozi. Let's talk about what this is. Alex Hormozi has never met me. He's never met you. He puts out Facebook ads. He puts out Instagram ads, paid ads. He puts out free content on all the platforms. He's providing us value. He never stops. Look at his videos from 4 or 5 years ago. There's like 63 views on it. Horrible camera. Shit. There's even comments on it from 2025 on his old videos saying, even Alex Hormozi, now somebody revered, wasn't perfect back then. Look at the low quality of these videos. People specifically saying very low quality video, very high quality value. So he's branding to us constantly, never stopping. He never stops.
Just constantly providing value.
Constantly
educating.
Value, visibility. We just, before we started the shoot, I opened up my YouTube to show what we're going to talk about. And I'm looking at it right now. The first 15 of them are him, all different videos. His most recent one from an hour ago, should you build a business like Harvard? He's constantly in front of us. And what has he done over the 4 years that I've been following him? Become more visible on more platforms, more content, more paid ads. The guy preaches marketing endlessly, and he's trying to help small businesses. This is what we do. So that's a real example of, he's never met us. He's only picked up the pace with branding. And now you're talking about word of mouth. We're not speaking to tens of thousands of people, but hundreds and thousands. And now there's that many more people that are hearing about him with a raving review. So he branded to me. He made sure I knew who he was. Then he provided value. Then I bought his stuff, provided way more value. Then I saw him again and again and again. Then I bought more of his stuff, provided more value again and again and again, more visibility. And now I talk about him all the time. My hat, wherever it is acquisition.com. I want to be a walking resource for people, even though we want you to become our client. If you can't right now, I want you to see that I'm wearing his hat. So hopefully you ask about it and then go learn from him. Not will it only reinforce our points, maybe that would help you become a client, but you may not be right fit for us and you're going to learn from him. The idea is to give value, educate, give without asking. His goal is to give until they ask, never ask. I don't know that we're at that stage. We have to ask at some point, keep the bills paid, but at least give a lot more than what you ask for. Gary Vee talks about jab, 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 right hook. So that's 3 gives and then 1 ask. It's a great platform to start at. Most businesses ask every time they post. Every ad that they put out there, buy something from me, buy something from me. Especially in this day and age when we have AI in front of us. We have like 70,000 ads coming at us a day. If you're constantly asking me to do things, I'm just going to lean away from you eventually. Just let me know that you're here to help. That's
so
it.
Let's talk about bringing it down to the local level. for our businesses here in Barrie and across Simcoe County. How to build a local brand. Start with community first.
So just give a couple examples. What do you mean?
So I love using this example because it's so accurate, and it's my dentist example. So you're driving let's say you have a kid, you're driving them to the hockey practice. Okay, it's 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. So you get up in the morning and you drive and you take the same route. It's at the same hockey arena, and every morning you pass by the billboard. And the billboard has a dentist on it. And the billboards are very advertorial. It's got one message, right? That message is, I'm the best, come buy from me. And so you just pass it eventually over time, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, how many times you pass by it. And you kind of get a little annoyed after a while. Like you kind of want to see something different, or maybe his teeth are nicer than my teeth. I tell you what doesn't happen is you don't get out of the car at 6 o'clock in the morning and go hug the billboard because you feel great about it and say, I want to get my teeth cleaned, right? And then one day you get to the hockey rink and the coach hands you an envelope with some money in it. It says, hey, here's some money back on your year because we had somebody sponsor the hockey team. And you're like, oh my God, what kind soul? Who would do something like this? And you open it up and it's the same dentist that's on the billboard. And by being involved into what people really care about, investing in their interests is one of the best ways to build a brand in your local community, showing that you care for them and being invested in their interests, right? That's why we have the community publications, sponsoring hockey teams. Things of this nature are people care deeply about them, and that's one of the best ways to get your name out. Now, of course, we live in the digital era, and so when you want to talk about visibility, and some of the major platforms like Meta and Google Display's Housing Network, which is 9 million apps and websites for those who don't know, all through interest-based algorithms, will make sure that you are more so guaranteeing that you're reaching your ideal audience. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, because it would be hard to argue that if you was putting your brand, your name, your business out to your ideal target demographic and you never left, I highly doubt that you wouldn't get business from that over time, especially with the right message and showing them that you care about the community.
In addition to that, what you learn from marketing. Like, how many times have we been with a client and they're like, yeah, I think women mainly look at our stuff. We have a psychotherapist I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's mainly women that look at our stuff. It's like, okay, well, when we start marketing for you on the digital platforms, let's just put non-gender specific, male and female. Let's send the ads out there to your ideal area and just let the interest-based algorithms do what they do, which for people that don't know, an interest-based algorithm means that content is being sent to people who showed they've been interested in something regarding that. If I'm showing interest in bodybuilding, I'm going to be sent stuff related to gyms and fitness supplements, etc. You're not going to send me something for a custom closet. Okay, that's an interest-based algorithm. We put it out there and that person is assuming that only females look at their stuff. And then we find out we have a 60-40 split of female to male. So had they not marketed, they wouldn't have got the business that they got from it anyway. They wouldn't have gotten that. But they also wouldn't have found out that men are really interested in your stuff too. You've missed out on half the population because you made this assumption just based on your experience, which often isn't analyzed and the data isn't reported on. It's a feeling typically. Let's use the numbers as much as possible. You put it out there on those platforms, find out who's engaging with it, and now create the content to speak to those people. You could have a separate ad to speak to men. You could have a separate ad to speak to women. You can do these types of things, but until you know the actual data, how many people are actually looking at me? Wow, 30,000 people saw me last month. That's great. 40% of them were men. 60% of them were women. So that means somewhere around 15, 16,000 of 35,000 people were men engaging with my stuff. Holy crap, I've been doing this business for 11 years, this person was. And now they find out they have an entirely new demographic to market to and potentially help? Are they looking because they want to help their wife, their daughter? Are they looking because they want to get therapy for themselves? You don't know, but now you know they're looking. That's pretty cool. So marketing not only gets you business, but it also reveals so much about your market, which most business owners just don't know.
And with the right analytics, you can find bottlenecks in your business, right? A good example would be, okay, so you have your ads that are going out there and people are clicking. And so people are clicking and that drives them to your website. And then you have analytics to show by traffic, by source, how long they're staying and viewing on each page. And this type of information is very important to somebody to say, well, I have a lot of clicks, but I'm not converting into sales. So what's happening on my website and why am I not either A, capturing their information? Why are they not calling into my business when they have access to all of the information? Very powerful stuff to know that, hey, I might need to make a tweak here. Maybe there's too much. Maybe my website is too clunky. I'm not simplifying the process. Maybe it's not easy to navigate or it's outdated. Maybe it's not set up properly for all of the back-end tools that a website needs so that it can be found and recognized, like the CLL certificate, for example, so that Google can recognize that that website exists so it will actually show up in search. Marketing, to your point, and having those analytics, the numbers, is very, very important to know where are the bottlenecks in your business and then give you predictable information of what you've done in years past to go off of so you can set realistic expectations so you can scale your business and grow.
Last part, I think this is really good. This helps my brain quite a bit. We often ask like how to get jacked, how to get wealthy, how to build a brand, how to build a great love life, all that stuff. There's a lot of how-tos. There's an endless list. But let's talk about how to not build a successful brand. The reverse is often very powerful. Don't advertise in your local community publications. Don't sponsor the hockey teams. Don't go on Meta and let them know. Don't create content and just work on cold calling and word of mouth. That's how you don't build a brand. And that's a person that I'd want to compete against at the end of the day. Like if we was like, who would be the worst competitor for you to go against? Apples to apples marketer. They're in every publication. They're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all the platforms, constantly being seen, outspending me. They have a better offer than me. They're more kind than I am. They have a better warranty than me.
They're in community events.
They're at networking events. They're sponsoring charities. This is a person I wouldn't want to compete against. This is a deadly business owner. The person that I'd be very comfortable competing against, and we probably are, we just aren't aware that they exist, are the person that does none of those things. So if you take anything from this, how do you create a brand? Just ask yourself, what is the things that I could do to not create a brand, and do the opposite? There's your answer.